Hi, I'm Jimmy from League Legacy Crafting. Today's video is for anyone who bought my Shinso mask from my Etsy site. Whether you have the finished version and you need to change the size, or you have the DIY kit and need to assemble it. Starting off with the finished kit, it should include 4 knobs, silver and black, the mask, and 6 antennas. So you can see on the mask is missing the knobs as well as the antennas. I didn't know what color knobs were, so I included some silver ones and black ones. You can pick which ones you want to use, as well as 2 extra antennas, just in case you break them. So we're going to start off by putting on the knobs. Now, if you see on the mask, there's a nail sticking out of the earpiece. At the bottom of one of the knobs, you can see there's a hole, so the knob can fit onto that nail. Now, I included black and silver. This is where you can pick whichever one you want to use. And you're just going to see if it fits. And once you're satisfied that the knob fits, you're going to want to attach it now. So you're going to need some handy dandy super glue. And you only want to apply some super glue to the tip of the nail. That way only the nail and the inside of the knob make contact. If the knob sticks to the earpiece, then you won't be able to spin it. So just be careful how much super glue you use. So you're going to apply super glue, attach it, let it dry, and from there it should be able to spin. If you don't like that, then obviously the nail can just help with alignment, and you can just glue the knob to the mask itself. So next we're going to attach the antennas to the mask. As you see, there are holes for antennas to fit into. So you have 6 antennas, you only need 4 of them. So you're going to apply a reasonable amount of force to get the antennas in. They should go in maybe ½ an inch. But don't apply too much force, as it may break the antenna. Also, be careful when you put down the mask sometimes, because the 2 bottom antennas are going to help support the mask. So it may break if you put it down too hard. Other than that, the mask is finished when it comes to all the pieces and assembly. And we'll move on to sizing next. So for this step, you're going to put on the mask, see if the mask fits. If it doesn't, and if it's too big or too small, don't worry, we're going to change it right now. All you're going to need is a heat gun or a blow dryer. So you're going to want to apply a little bit of heat to the inside of the mask. So you're going to only apply heat to where I'm going to be pointing at, right on the edges towards the middle, and then the middle itself. So you're going to only apply heat there, and you don't want to apply it anywhere else. You don't want to damage the mask. So I'm going to show you what it looks like on this prototype. As you can see, I'm applying some heat to the inside of the mask. And from here, I can either bend the mask inwards or bend the mask outwards. So once you start bending it, put it to your face. Be careful, as it can be hot. And see if the mask fits. If it doesn't, redo the step until you get the right size. But you only want to apply the right amount of heat to slightly bend the mask. If you apply too much heat now, it may damage the mask completely or damage the paint. So just be very careful on how much heat you use. From here, the mask is pretty much done. You just need to put it on and adjust the straps. One thing though, you may have to adjust the top straps. Those aren't adjustable. So if you find that it's too big and too long, you might have to cut it down a little bit and then hand sew it. So other than that, mask is ready to go for your cosplay. Moving on to the DIY kit. If you ordered the DIY kit, I included all the pieces that are needed to make the mask. So all these pieces are basically straight off the printer. I just removed some of the supports. I included all the buckles and elastic bands, but I haven't attached anything yet because you still need to paint it and you still need to assemble the whole thing. When you get the package should include the mask, the 2 earpieces, 2 small elastic bands, 2 large elastic bands, one being larger than the other, 2 buckles, one being small, one being big, 6 antennas. Out of those 6, you're only using 4, 2 are extra. You have 4 knobs. Again, you only need 2, but I included 2 extra just in case. As well as 10 detailed mic pieces. 2 nails uncut and then 2 nails cut. To assemble the mask, we're gonna have 8 different steps. Starting with step 1, you need to sand and paint the mask pieces before you start assembling. Step 2, you're gonna start attaching the straps. Step 3, you're gonna attach the knobs. Step 4, connect the earpieces to the mask. Step 5, you're gonna glue on the mic details. Step 6, you're gonna sew on the buckles. Step 7, attach the antennas. And finally in step 8, adjust the mask. So the very first thing you want to do is to sand and paint your pieces. So with the power of fast forward, painted. For this step, you're going to need the small elastic bands, larger elastic bands, as well as the left and right ear pad. You're going to start off with your left ear pad and insert the shorter of the larger elastic bands into the slot. Now we're going to insert these elastic bands so we can get ready to sew them. I prefer doing it now rather than later, as if you do it later on, it might be somewhat difficult to reach. So once you get both the large and small elastic bands inserted on the left ear pad, you're going to do the same thing to the right. Remember, for the larger elastic bands on the right side, it should be the longer of the elastic band. So you're going to insert that through. Now it might be somewhat tricky to get through. You might have to use some kind of pliers or screws to pull it through. So once you get it through, again, you're going to insert the smaller one. And now they're ready to get sewn. So just like that, sewn. So in step 3, we're going to attach the knobs to the earpiece. You're going to have your earpiece, your knob, your cut nail, and then some super glue. So the first thing you're going to do is flip over that earpiece, and you're going to notice that hole right there. You're going to insert your cut nail into that hole, and if you flip it back over, you should notice that the nail's sticking out. So on the back side of your knob, there's a hole as well. So you're going to insert the nail into that hole, and you can insert either black, silver, whatever you have, and attach it. See if it fits, if it turns, and if you're satisfied, you're going to take it off. And now you're going to apply some super glue onto the tip of the nail. Now be careful for this step. You only want super glue on the tip of the nail, so only the tip of the nail makes contact with the inside of the knob. If you get super glue onto the knob and it touches the earpiece, it won't be able to turn. So just be wary of that. After that, let it dry, and it should be able to turn. There you go. Moving on to step 4, you're going to glue the earpieces to the mask. So as you see, you have your left and right earpiece, as well as the mask. You're going to need some super glue, and if you look on the mask, you're going to notice that there's going to be a left notch and a right notch. Now these notches fit perfectly into the slots on the ear pads. So you're going to pop it right in. Make sure it's fit and snug. It should be flush with the ear pad. If it's not for some reason, double check if there's any leftover support or like 3D printed dust in it, that you can use an X-Acto knife and just clear it away. So once you pop them on, it should look like this. And if you're satisfied, we're going to move on to super gluing it to the mask. So from here, you're going to take your super glue, and you want to apply the super glue to the inside of the earpiece. So you want to get the inside edges as well as the inside surface. Now you want the super glue to get in contact with any of the area that the mask is going to touch when you connect the earpiece to the mask. So you see right here, I'm getting the inside surface and edges. And you can also add it to this edge right here. So make sure you get a good amount, that way you get a really good adhesion when you put on the two pieces. So like before, you're going to snap on the earpiece to the mask, and then you're going to repeat this step for the other side. And once both sides are nice and snug. You're gonna let it dry, and you should be ready to go. Step 5, we're gonna glue on the mic details. So you see, you have 8 mic detail pieces, and what you want to do is apply some super glue to the back side of it and just attach it to the mask. Just be careful, don't apply too much. You might smear the super glue, and you don't really want that. So once you do that, the mask should turn out like this. So moving on to step 6, we're going to be sewing on the buckles. You have your large and small buckles. First one you're going to do is the large buckles. Take the non-adjustable buckle first and insert the smaller, shorter strap on the left. And then you're going to take the adjustable buckle and take the right side and put it on through. Make sure this strap is longer than the one on the left. Now when you sew down the right strap, make sure you sew down the edge shut, because this one's adjustable. You don't want this one coming loose and falling off. You're going to repeat this whole step for the top buckles. Attach the left buckle and then the right buckle. Now for this, the head strap buckles are not adjustable, so you may have to adjust it to your head size first before you sew it down. Now once you have everything sewed down, it should look like this. So next we're going to attach the antennas to the mask. As you see, there are holes for antennas to fit into. So you have 6 antennas, you only need 4 of them. So you're going to apply a reasonable amount of force to get the antennas in. They should go in maybe ½ inch, but don't apply too much force as it may break the antenna. Also be careful when you put down the mask sometimes, because the 2 bottom antennas are going to help support the mask, so it may break if you put it down too hard. Other than that, the mask is finished when it comes to all the pieces and assembly, and we'll move on to sizing next. So for this step, you're going to put on the mask, see if the mask fits. If it doesn't, and if it's too big or too small, don't worry, we're going to change it right now. All you're going to need is a heat gun or a blow dryer. So you're going to want to apply a little bit of heat to the inside of the mask. So you're going to only apply heat to where I'm going to be pointing at, right on the edges towards the middle, and then the middle itself. So you're going to only apply heat there, and you don't want to apply it anywhere else. You don't want to damage the mask. So I'm going to show you what it looks like on this prototype. As you can see, I'm applying some heat to the inside of the mask, and from here I can either bend the mask inwards or bend the mask outwards. So once you start bending it, put it to your face. Be careful as it can be hot, and see if the mask fits. If it doesn't, redo the step until you get the right size. But you only want to apply the right amount of heat to slightly bend the mask. If you apply too much heat now, it may damage the mask completely or damage the paint. So just be very careful on how much heat you use. I hope this video helped those who are watching, and if you like this video and want to see more, feel free to drop a like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell. And if you want to buy a Shinso mask, check out my Etsy site. You can find other My Hero Academia stuff such as Inasa and Aizawa. And if you want to follow me on any of my social media handles, you can check out my description below. Other than that, I'll see you in the next video, and I'll leave you with a couple of pics of my own Shinso cosplay. Bye!